Hi, my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. Okay, the very first thing I have to tell you is I won the bobbin chicken. Can you see the thread there? There is thread, a tiny little bit of thread left. It's like, go, go, go. My lovely Solaris chimes at me when my bobbin is low, and it only lets me sew a little bit, and then it chimes again, and it stops when it chimes. So you have to just kind of keep going, keep going, keep going. And it's like, okay, if you want to run out, it's not my fault. I told you over and over. So that's sort of fun. But I won. I won. I won. I won. All right. I have a bunch of different things to show you. So let's get to it. On the calendar, I have sharing a quilt that has orange fabric in it. I did that because I thought because the section we're doing in the Secret Lies of Color is orange, it would be really fun to see orange quilts. Now, I'm expecting to see a lot of sports related quilts that, you know, there's a lot of orange in sports teams, but I'm going to show you mine, which is not a sports quilt. It is one I did quite a few years ago, and it is in my Triangle book. And I know the Triangle book is out of print, but you can get a digital copy, and many of you own it since we did print a bunch of them. So this is what is in there. And in the lesson for this one is used for how to set blocks on point. So there we go. So this is one that I did with orange quite a few years ago. I just love it. I love the little stripe in there. This is border fabric, was my fabric line. I think most of this is my fabric line except for the stripe. So the little, see the little squares that have the striped fabric? Yeah, everything else was my fabric lines, including I had a batik for the backing. Doesn't that look good? Yeah, so I love this one. This is on my long-term keeper list because I've always loved it. Has the polka dots, the great big flowers in the corner. Okay, so that is my orange quilt. So today on my Facebook group, I want you to share your quilts with orange in them, something that has a lot of orange, not just, you know, like one little tiny bit. You know, dig around, you got to have something with some orange in it. Okay, our block a day. Yesterday on March 2nd, I totally forgot to show you the block. So first, let's look at what block I have for today. So today is the 3rd, and here is my block. And I want to tell you what I'm doing, sort of the plan that I have and how it's working out. I think it's going to be incredible. Here is yesterday's block because this has the pink flamingo fabric. So what I'm doing is I'm alternating. I have the pink flamingos with pink background and aqua background. So I've split 15 of each, but I didn't have quite enough, so there's 2 parrot blocks. So they'll sprinkle the 2 with the parrots somewhere. And then for the black and white, I have 15 of them with the peacocks and 15 of them with the pandas. And so there we go. So I've got all 3 now that I can sew together, and I'm definitely going to sew all these as I'm going along. And I will do 30 blocks and do the more squarish. It's not quite square, but that's the layout that I will do. And I don't know if I'll end up with a border on it or not, but I'm going to just keep it simple. So that'll be pretty much what I do. And then we'll see at the end if I feel like I want it a little bit bigger or want to accent it with something. Now I do have like this little plan for how I'm doing things. Where is it? Oh, it's over here. So I have already cut all of the black and white centers so you can see the peacocks and the pandas. Then I have already cut all of the flamingo centers, but they don't all have flamingos on them because I would have to, you know, buy a lot more fabric to fussy cut. So some of them just have the ferns or flamingo butts and that and the shrimp in that one. Like here's the faces again. And then I have they're on pink and they're on aqua. So there's the pink version. Then I have 2 of these parrots. So I don't know, I might end up switching one of these other ones out and create a 3rd parrot so that your eye likes odd numbers, 3, 5, 7. They're appealing design wise. So I might do a 3rd bird and take out one of the other pieces that, you know, maybe just have a butt or something. So that that is that plan. Now what else do I have going on? I got this done. Ta-da! it is finished. So I have to make it into a little quilt. I got out some of my Morrison Park green. I thought I might just keep it really simple rather than have a fabric that has pattern on it. Instead, just, let me just sort of audition it here. Let me just put the thing down here on the table. All right. So if I want to make this guy, I've still got the little needle minder on there. But if I wanted to do it like this, they're about 6, they're 7. I think I made it 7 inches. That worked out really well. So I think on this green, it looks pretty nice. Just keeps it simple, lets the shamrock, lets the shamrock shine. Now, the one thing is the pattern had the 17th twice. It had it here and it had it up here, but instead I just put another shamrock and some more little yellow stardust. So that is done, and I made it. I actually had it done on the 1st, but I just didn't, I ran out of time to really talk about it. So I'm going to switch over to the flea market flowers and do that for the next week. I'm also thinking of maybe like once a week pulling out one of the other cross stitches and just doing some work on that, like the sailboat or something like that, if I can get it sort of organized so that I can just pull it for a day or 2 days and work on one of those. So I have sort of 3 of them that I work on during the month. So I'm toying around with that idea. All right, I wanted to show you the Shamrock quilt. This is the one that I couldn't find the other day when I said I was looking for the green quilts, and then I couldn't find the one, and then I wrote a big note that I did find it eventually. Yeah, it was actually I think the reason why I didn't see it is because I thought it was smaller than this. And so I was looking for something different on the edge all folded up. So this is a Shamrock we did last year. So I wanted to show you in case some of you did not do this last year and you want to do it now for this month, because it works out pretty good. It was a pattern from the Fat Quarter Shop that I then did a modification to make the stems. Instead of having 4 of those flower, circle-like units, we have 3 for each one, and then the stems that all meet in the middle. And this one was done, I put the backing on it, was my Morrison Park. All the green, so it's like it's a Shamrock version of, I think it's called Mini Muffin or something like that. So the link is down below in the description box, and also you can actually see it over at my website, I Love to Make Quilts. You can get the link there. You'll see the photo of it and you can download it. So a couple other things, like I am really seriously thinking, what is today? Today is Thursday. So Thursday until Monday, I need to sew a bunch of stuff. I just feel like there's too many things like right on this edge that need to be sewn up. And so that is what I'm going to concentrate on. So the next 2 videos, you will see me talking about those things mostly, because I just feel like there's like these little loose ends and I need to get them fixed up. And I'm going to tell you what they are. So first of all is the quilt I did. Where is it? I think I set things out so that they can be nice and tidy and found. There they are. Okay, so the Crumb block quilt. This one, I need to get the inner border, which I'm working on. So I'm going to show you that. So I have this one that I need an inner border, and then I want to put the Harmony, my purple Harmony, again as another outer border. And I have been making these strips. They're 2-inch squares from my boxes of 2-inch squares that I keep. That's the scrap system that I use right now. It's pretty much all I keep are 2.5. I'm sorry, they finished 2.5-inch squares. So I have all of these, and these are going to be the inner border. And what I did was get a bunch of the squares out with a lot of pink. It's like these 2 piles are pink, some yellow, a little bit of green, a little bit of teal, a little bit of gray, a couple of gray here. And so I'm sort of building mostly, they'll be pink. And I hope they're not too overwhelming. It's like I need to get this stuff off the wall so I can see if they're overwhelming or not. I'm hoping that they are okay, that they're like, oh, okay, they look fine. That they're not, because they'll be 2-inch finished. So I need to get that done. That's a biggie. Now I had a question. I did say this on the video, but some of you may have missed that. You have your 9 blocks done, so you can sew these together, and then if you want, you can put your inner border on. I did not mention that yet. So your pattern for those Sweet Dreams, So your pattern for the layout, you have the inner border there. So if you know what fabric you want to use, so I am using this pink stripe for this inner border and one of the other inner borders. So this is the stripe. I'm using that guy. And I will get that done. Then I'm going to decide what to do with the scrappy blocks. I know I'm not going to make the full quilt with the crumb blocks. I think this was a fun enough experiment, and I have to decide now if I want to set those a little bit differently or take some of the other crumb blocks and maybe make a couple more of those to make like a 4x4 and put some wide sashing maybe and make a charity quilt from it. So I'm thinking that's where I'm going to go with this guy. So pretty much he'll probably come off the wall now for a little bit and go into this. Those blocks will go into the drawer with all the crumb blocks. That way I can keep track of it. What else did I have? I had something else here to show you. Oh, the other thing that needs done, of course, is the coffee panel needs the binding on it. Then I have the borders for the flapjack, which is tomorrow's Friday. So on Friday, I will show you that, which means it has to be one of the first things I do today. And then I also have cut up for the next blocks in the words to live by. I have them already cut, and I have this panel piece and this panel piece. Where is it? Are the two that go, whoops. Oh, it was the lemon. The lemon goes with that section. So these I will sew while I'm sewing other things, and I just have to get it in line for that, because I was sewing these in between, like making these blocks and making the Ukraine block. So yeah, lots of stuff. That's why I said I just need to sort of shore up all these things, get a couple of these finished up over the next few days. Okay, where are we at with the fundraiser for Ukraine? Quilters Stand for Ukraine. You guys rock. Oh my goodness, quilters are so generous. I am immensely humbled by your generosity. In 24 hours, you raised $65,000 for UNICEF to use for the Ukraine children, refugees. And you know, that's just incredible. And I know you are still making and you're still giving, and my heart is just full. It's just, you are amazing. Now, I did get my border on. One of our friends asked, what's the block for? And I thought I had explained it, but maybe I didn't. So you make the block and quilt it up and hang it on your front door. You know, hang it inside your house to remind you of solidarity with the Ukraine people as they're going through this horrible, horrible war. This is mine, and I have to get this quilted, but I have a little tip for you, so watch this video. So a tip here that I got from Kendall over on our community page, she is one of the moderators, is that if you're putting your borders on and you're using the same fabric, and maybe it's from your stash and you've had it a long time and you don't really have enough of it to do a full length here, you can do 4 borders the exact same, and then you can just go ahead and use cornerstones. I just have this other yellow here to show you as an example. So you could just do 4 pieces that are the 2.5 by 20.5, and when you do that, you can add a 2.5 inch yellow square on either end, and then you can have corner squares out here, and that will let you just do 2 strips width of fabric. You just do 2 strips width of fabric, whereas if you're doing all 4, you need to have 3 strips width of fabric, and you will have some extra then. So another thing I do when I'm cutting these strips, especially the long strips that I just want to be sure that they're nice and tidy, is I use my 24.5 inch ruler, because that's what I'm doing, since I have enough of this blue fabric of mine, Morrison Park, to go ahead and do the whole, you know, length without the corners. So I shift up on my ruler so that the whole ruler is down on the fabric and it is absolutely can be seen. So sometimes when I'm up on this edge, I feel like I'm not really sure where things are. Maybe it might get a little shifted. It's not really straight. So here I am. The whole length is 24.5 inches. So I will then just trim off this corner, and then now this is ready to sew on the top, and the other one that I've already cut here is ready to sew on the bottom of the quilt. And then my quilt will get quilted. I think I'm going to do the wave stitch, and then this will go on my front door. So I hope that helps some of you, because I know you're going through your stash and you're finding maybe that very perfect blue and you don't have quite enough to do, you know, it's a bit skimpy to get all this out of it. And so that should help you out for the borders to do that little hack. And thank you, Kendall, for that one. And that's how he did his. Okay, I think, oh, I also have a pillow over there that has to be made up with the owl, so that's still sitting there waiting. So these are all the things, all the things that are going on. And over the next, I think until Monday, this is my goal, is to work on these. I'm going to put them in order. I'm going to make myself a list and put in order of priority, and then just work through them. And I'll film a little bits of them, I think, as I'm doing some of the stuff, if there's something interesting, and then I can pop it in on the Friday and Saturday video for you to see. And if there's anything left, I'll use it on the Monday video too, because I just really want to kind of wipe it off the face here, just get it all cleaned up. One of the things too is it's getting nicer out. So that means at some point I will also want to do be outside and do my yard work. Like today I went for a really beautiful 45-minute walk in my neighborhood. That was so nice. I haven't done one of those for a while, and I try to do those as often as I can. It's good exercise. It's a good clears your brain to get out and just do something else. Okay, my friends. You have lots of things. I know some of you are sewing with me, so you also have lots of things. Again, here is my string bean, so I want to be sure you see I did it. The accountability, right? All right, I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.